Kalu get people your go. Nature Guadarema, Gobo, Guadarema. Kalu be dog. He bought a name and Kalu. What you want? That's all on the phone. We can't have a lot of you want to do what you want. On the mobile. On the
Welcome to IPOB Radio Biafra Asia Desk. We are with the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB in Asia. We are here looking at some of the issues that affects our existence as Biafrans, because our land is under occupation. As we can see, there is ongoing military invasion in our various communities in the eastern part of Nigeria, which is Biafra land. And I thank you. Welcome for our analysis and discussion on Biafra, on IPOB Asia, the indigenous people of Biafra living in Asia. We are looking at issues and the developing stories or updates concerning the restoration of Biafra, concerning what is going on back home in our various communities. You see that the Nigerian state has embarked upon an undeclared war on our people, on our communities, on our youth, using the terrorist-inflicted Nigerian army, because the Nigerian state have had it as a policy to recruit the so-called repentant Boko Haram into the army to kill, to destroy, and to burn down communities. So these are the issues that we're about to look at today, as we come back in a minute with a little bit of the Ohafia war dance, you know, because our land is now under occupation. So we'll be back in a minute. So what we are saying today is there is a military operation going on in Biafra land as we speak today, specifically in Amangwu Ohafia in Biafra land. Few days ago, it happened in also in Imo State. The other day, it happened at Izombe. A lot of our community homes were destroyed and burned down by the Nigerian security forces. This pattern of destruction has been ongoing in Nigeria for a very long time. The Nigerian men army will go to a community and destroy the community with some flimsy excuses. I don't know how this thing is going to continue because our land has been devastated. There is no development in our various communities. Have been so devastated since yesterday, since we have been getting these reports and news and updates concerning what is going on. This is what our brother sent yesterday from the community. This is what happened.
Hello, all over the world, Biafra land, even in the zoo, Africa, Asia, and Europe, and all the way. So wherever you are, Sabo Afo, 26th day of October, 26th day of October, early hour of this day, 5 o'clock early morning, the army invaded Amangwu community of Ohafia in Biafra land. This is one of the community where they went last few months and destroyed properties, burned down houses, killed many people. Our politicians did not say anything. Thank God for the real majesty and some few kings that were able to stand with the youth. And another one has happened. They are assuming they are fighting for that some people invited them for burial or whatever. From our findings, we have come to realize that it's not so. Please let it go to the whole world that the army that have invaded the community, which the women could not go anywhere and they are around begging them to leave their community, there is no problem in their community. And they have refused. We are giving them between now and when it's dark, whatsoever they see, they will take it. Whatsoever they see, they will take it. Let all our politicians, all the so-called House of Reps, and the senators, governors, they should hear this. If we eventually, as they are spreading their bullets up and down, we lose anyone, we are not going to take it easy with anybody. We are not going to take it easy with any one of them because they are the one that are bringing them to destroy our youth, level our land, plant mayhem on our people, and we are promising them between now and in the next 3 hours, spread this news to all over the world. If they remain there without taking their armor tank, two armor tanks with helots filled everywhere, they will understand that the people of Ohafia have never been defeated and can never be defeated. Let that politicians that are behind this journey have this thing clear to him, and we are saying, after this, we shall count two. After one, we must count two. After one, we must count two. The army should take off, get away from Amangwu community, or else between now and the next 3 hours, whatever they see, they will take it. Let the PG, Ohafia PG, that is somewhere in Port Harcourt, tell his people. Let Honorable Ifeanyi Uchendu tell his people. Let the local government chairman tell his people. Let the senator tell his people. Let Ojuzo Kalu remind his people that enough is enough. It is time. We must not take this nonsense anymore. No vagabond, no non-entity, no imagery from anywhere will come to our land to intimidate our people. Enough is enough. Let this message go to them. And we are ready and we are on ground. We cannot take this intimidation anymore. We cannot take this humiliation anymore. We cannot take this frustration anymore. We cannot take this all and odd from anyone or any parastatal or any group anymore. We must be free in our fatherland. We are peace-loving people. Let the UN be aware of this, that our people are incarcerated, our people are frustrated, our people are intimidated, our people are humiliated, our people are even chased out of their homes. They are right now in bushes around them, in their farms, trying to safeguard their lives. We are telling the people to leave Amangwu between now and in the next 3 hours. Let the federal government be aware of this, that we're not afraid of anybody. We are grateful as you comply. Thank you.
This is what we are saying. This is what is going on in various communities in Biafra land as we speak today. Nobody speaks for our people. No single person speaks for us. That is the reason why all of us, we must stand up. We must stand up and defend our land, because the Fulanis, they have recruited all the Boko Haram, they called repentant Boko Haram, into the Nigeria army. And as a result of that, they have continued to go from village, from community to community, to commit atrocities, you know. So because of this thing, that is the reason why we, the indigenous people of Biafra, we are here telling our people, giving updates on what is happening, because Nigeria do not want us, but they want the resources in our land. And because of that, we have paid the price with our blood to sustain one Nigeria. And you see, they are enablers in our land, the people that they are using to enslave us, to continue to tell us to go out to vote. After voting, this same Fulani controlled slaves will always be there to come and douse the situation whenever this Nigerian murderous state or their full soldier, the Fulani has men, when they struck. So these are the most important thing that we must understand that is going on in our land now. Look at how they have invaded our community, Amangwu community. This is the second time this year. They invaded the other time. They killed a lot of people. They burned houses. they give flimsy excuses. But when you make proper investigation, you will see that these are just intimidation. They will intimidate our people. They have forced us to traveling out of our communities. There is no single development you see. Only you see they say this one is a politician. He built town hall. Nobody is talking about industrialization. Ohafia community, we have palm oil everywhere. We cannot develop it. We cannot, you don't have any government presence in our place. But you will only see the good luck Jonathan military barracks that they built in Ohafia. Because of that military barrack, they have attracted a lot of Fulanis inside Ohafia community. Now they are causing a lot of damages illegally, not to talk of the one that the government is sponsoring to be committed in our land. Yesterday, they invaded our community, unprovoked. Look at what this our brother is saying. The reason that they have given that may warrant the invasion of a community. This is how they have been invading communities, killing people, burning houses, burning vehicles, causing a lot of destruction. So let us listen to the second message that this brother sent this morning.
Ụtụtụ ọma ụmụ Chineke. Ụtụtụ ọma ụmụ afọ Igbo niile. Ụtụtụ ọma ụmụ Biafra niile. All over the world. Today we are here Wednesday 27th October 2021. Before you see monkey, monkey don't see you. Let this message go to those animal planning. We got their information clearer over the night. We got it clearer. Nwafu Igbo niile, nwa Anambra niile, I say what they are planning to do this period is to gather you on the 2nd of November. You will all be sleeping in primary schools, and they are going to pay you people for 4,000 naira. You will sleep because there is no going out. There is locked door. So they want to pick you. They want to organize you people on the 2nd of November. Before you see monkey, monkey have seen you. We are everywhere. We are everywhere at all time in Biafran land. No matter where you gather and do your meeting, don't worry yourself yet. We must get the secret. We must get it, and we are having first-class information right now. Let's send it back to them, the INEC officers, the politicians, the agreement of gathering people on the 2nd day of November 2021 in order way to assume there is an election on the 4th of November, on the 4th, on the 6th. No matter how you act the drama, we are watching you. Tell our people, going there to sleep for 2 good days with 4,000 naira may not be too expensive comparing your life. Your life, 4,000 naira does not worth your soul. Because on that day, if you dare try it, anyone that try it is equivalent to our enemy, and whatever we intend doing to our enemy, it will happen to you. We have decided to agree that there is no election, and there must not be any election in Anambra State come this November. We are waiting. Tell your brothers, tell your sisters, sit at home, start from 4th, and they want to take you people on the 2nd and go and sleep in the primary schools. That is where they want to lodge you people. That is the hotel. That's your own 5-star hotel. They are prepared for you to go and lie down with a Bokis mat. There is no other arrangement apart from the mat they have arranged. You people will lie down for 2 good days. We want to let you know that anyone that try us is only playing game with his life. There is no amount of apology. There is no amount of apology. Hear this, except MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is out of the dungeon before we allow anything to happen. We are saying, don't go to the primary school. It's a trap. They are setting you. They are setting a trap for you. They want to destroy your life. They are not interested in your affair. They are just so interested on their personal selfish interest. Our people, matakwano nihe, ejikwala ni 4,000 naira. Ega digurendo gi chuaja, choro nyama gi haja. Dalon, angane sokwa.
This is what we are saying, brothers and sisters, Biafrans, friends of Biafra, lovers of freedom. This is what we are saying. They are planning, they are preparing to take our people out of their homes on the 2nd of November to go and lodge them at the various primary schools or secondary schools where they have assumed that the elections will be taking place. So in order to bypass the sit-at-home order that the indigenous people of Biafra has declared, because as a matter of fact, we don't have any reason to go out to vote. We have no reason to, because we have been voting since when? What have we got? Do we have electricity? Do we have roads? Do we have water piped into our houses? What can we say that we have benefited because of our votings in Nigeria? Number one, if elections doesn't count, what they do is to give you for 4,000 to come out and the queue on the line in order to confirm the legitimacy of the fraud that they have foisted on all of us. Election doesn't count. Before they conduct election, they have already selected those that they intend to occupy various political positions. Because what we have is we have returned to the era of the warrant chiefs. You know, when the British were in Nigeria, when they amalgamated Nigeria, they introduced what they call indirect rule. So this indirect rule, it means the British colonizers will be giving orders to the local chiefs that they have selected by themselves to represent their interests, those that are compromised. The same thing is what we are seeing in our land today. All those people that we see today, we call politicians, all of them are compromised. All of us, we were there. When we saw Edo State would-be governor or is a governorship aspirant go to the north, he was a pastor and he went to the Sokoto Caliphate and they turbaned him and he entered into agreement with them. You know, this is the pattern. This is what has been happening in Nigeria since 1960 till today. Remember, in 1959, before the British left, they conducted a census and they inflated the census figure and they used the inflated figure to allocate to the north. a northern desert where there is no presence of higher habitation of people, they allocated higher population figure to them. And it is because of that population figure that they were wrongly and fraudulently allocated to the northern states controlled by the Fulanis. That is the reason why today they are still sharing allocation. You know, in Nigeria, when they collect the internally generated revenue, which they call IGR, when they collect it, each state, they have 36 states in Nigeria, each state collect this internally generated revenue. They take it to Abuja. Then all the states will now come back again together to this same port that they have brought their money to, then they will share it. Now, the funny part of this thing is this: the states in the north outnumber the states in the south. Even the local governments in those various states in the north outnumbers those of their counterparts in the south. And the another thing, most of those states in those Fulani dominated areas in the north, they are not even economically viable because their citizens, they don't pay taxes. Therefore, the state doesn't generate anything. And at the time of sharing this money from the port, they will still refer to that census figure that was inflated in 1959 by the British. They use it to share this money. This is the injustice that has been ongoing in Nigeria. And it is because of this particular issue too, is the reason why they were able to create what they call quota system. Quota system is that there will be no merit in administration of amenities. For instance, if my son wants to enter into Unity School in Nigeria, he will be expected to score 139 points. But someone from Yobe State, where the Boko Haram invaded yesterday, is expected to score 4. Do you see? So all the northern states are lowered, their scores are lowered, whereas all the southern states, their scores are high. Now, these people, they will now gain admission into school, they will now come out and become National Assembly members. Now, when you come to this National Assembly, they have veto power. What is the veto power? The veto power is they have 19 northern states, whereas in the south, they have 17 southern states, including the Oduduwas, the Biafrans, and all other people within the south. They have 17. Therefore, if there is a bill at the floor of the National Assembly, if the people in the north, if they do not accept that bill, that means that bill will never be passed. So that is the quagmire that we found ourselves in. And today you see the military involving in civilian activities in Nigeria, and nobody says anything. As we are speaking today, all the southeastern states in Nigeria, which is Biafra land, all the police commissioners are Fulanese. They were subtly placed there for a purpose, so as to control and continue to maintain the enslavement that has been foisted upon our people, whereby we do not control our own destiny. Do you know why? We do not control our destiny. Because in Nigeria, when you come out from our side, you want to travel out of Nigeria, you have to go to Lagos or Abuja in order to access any foreign mission for visa. Now, if you got the visa, but before you even go there, you have to risk your life driving miles and miles away on a very bad road, infested with terrorists, in all the bushes, whereby they can come out at any time and open fire at the oncoming vehicle. That is the reality on ground. That is the reality. Now, if you were able to navigate and pass all these bad roads, and so lucky, and the terrorist Fulani didn't come out of the bush to attack your vehicle, the police checkpoints, the military checkpoints, the custom checkpoints, all the security agencies in Nigeria, they have checkpoints from the eastern region to Lagos or to Abuja. Now, if you succeed in getting the visa, you now come back and prepare yourself and take your luggage. You want to travel now. You have to go to Enugu, you have to go to Abuja or Lagos or Kaduna or Kanu or Meduguri to be able to board international airline that will take you out. These are the realities that we are facing. These are the realities. Now, if you happen to go to China, to Japan, to Malaysia, to Indonesia, to anywhere, to import goods, because Nigeria doesn't produce anything, the leaders has never thought of industrializing the society so that there will be jobs and employment, which will dramatically reduce all this insecurity. People are hungry. People have no job. There is nothing working. What the government is doing is to spend money, borrow money to build Niger Republic and use the remaining part of the money to bribe the local media, the international media, the world bodies to see that they suppress the agitation for self-determination. This is the reality on ground. In Nigeria, there is no investment on infrastructure in the East. I have to be specific. They will come out and say they are doing this, they are doing that. They want to cajole us to believe that there is something that will still come out of Nigeria. This is what you and I will face. This is what you and I will face. So if we are able to go to China, passing through all these hurdles that I have mentioned, and we are able to buy goods and wants to import it to Aba, to Owerri, to Onitsha, to Calabar, to Uyo. If you want to do that, when the goods arrive, we must also go to Lagos again. Because when the British arrived, when the British were exploiting the resources in Biafra land through their Royal Niger Company, because we all know that Nigeria was formerly a company. Nigeria was formerly a Royal Niger Company, and they sold the stake to the British government, 850,000 pounds, British pounds. At that time, that is how they acquired Nigeria. They came now and established and start the amalgamation. That is why you have Nigeria today. So what I am saying in effect is this: when the British were there administering and exploiting our resources, they were using the Calabar port, because the Calabar port is one of the deepest ports in Africa, where the British, they were docking their ships and doing their businesses. There was also the Port Harcourt port, where we call Port Harcourt port is called Iguacha. Port Harcourt was a British official, which they named the port to him because they were using the port. There is also seaport in One and many other places in the south. But due to the agenda of the successive governments of the day, they are unable to develop all these places because they don't want to do it. It is for a purpose. It is for a reason. Now, they don't even want you and I, as indigenes of these areas, to pool our resources together and go and build the seaport, or pool our resources together and go to Japan to be able to acquire the technology to establish a power plant whereby we will have uninterrupted electricity generation. But they wouldn't allow us to do that because they have already used their draconian law to cage us with what they call exclusive legislative list of power. This exclusive legislative list of power is where they caged our destiny. This exclusive legislative list of power is where they caged our employment. This legislative list of power, exclusive legislative list of power, is where they caged our husbands, our wives. That is why we are sojourning all over the world, looking for greener pastures. Whereas the greener pastures are in our land. This exclusive legislative list means you cannot build seaport in your community, even if you have the money, unless the Fulanis in Abuja agrees. This exclusive legislative list of power means that you and I cannot establish power plant in Ohafia, even if we have the resources. Why? Because it is under the exclusive legislative list for power generation. You and I cannot embark upon building seaports because we don't have the power. So these are the reasons why you see everybody that they install in our land, they control the person, they will direct you on what to do. Because before you attend to anything in Nigeria, they must force you to get your hands soiled. That is the reason why you see, even when you have a bright and a vibrant individual working in the United States of America, making it big there, but when they come back to Nigeria and become politicians, they become even worse than those that they have been criticizing. It is not because they lack the qualities. It is because the system was skewed and was fraudulently concocted in order to make sure that nothing works. The system makes it to be that no matter what you do, there must be a bottleneck that will impinge you, because Nigeria is a lawless society. Nigeria is a place whereby there is no effective laws that protects all the citizens equally. What is applicable to me as a Biafran will be different from what is applicable to someone that is a Fulani. Remember, these Fulanis, they are not Nigerians. These Fulanis, they are not more than they are not even up to 5% of the population of Nigeria. These Fulani, they have no land in Nigeria at all. Most of them are from Mauritania. Some of them are from Eritrea. Some of them are from Mali. They are from all different parts of Africa. They settled. Their journey started in 1804 when Uthman Danfodio arrived and destroyed the ever-flourishing Hausa kingdom. The Hausa kingdom were very sophisticated. They have built a system that produced a lot of things, even the then guns, which the British recognized. So they have advanced until Uthman Danfodio came in 1804 and deceived them with corruption, and then established the Sokoto Caliphate. Where you see today that is called Sokoto, the original name is Gobert. Gobert, that is the original name of Sokoto. Gobert is a Hausa kingdom, the capital of the Hausa kingdom. The seat of Sultan of Sokoto today is resting on the throne of the Hausa kingdom. Their king, King Yumfa, was killed, was destroyed by Uthman Danfodio, and he established the kingdom, established what they call the Sokoto Caliphate today. And today, his grandchildren are still occupying the seat, and they now controlling Nigeria and wants to bring in their fellow Fulanese from all over Africa to have a homeland in Nigeria with the intention to destroy, kill, and occupy the ancestral lands of indigenous people that have been on the land for thousands of years before these sojourners arrived. So these are the realities. They are continuously working tirelessly to see that they use both the legal means and the fraudulent means and the violence means and whatever that is available to see that they complete the conquest that was started in 1804. This is the reality. Some people may think that it is a just propaganda. This is not a propaganda. This is the truth. Professor Yamal-402, may his soul rest in peace, he said it, that they want to start a civil war in Nigeria. They have recruited repentant Boko Haram into the army. They have released the repentant Boko Haram into the society. They have released the so-called repentant Boko Haram to the governors of the north. You can never see any day these governors, these politicians, these northern elders from this north come south and they condemn these killers. You can never see it. Few days ago in Sokoto, 40 people were killed in a Sokoto market. Who killed them? They call them bandits. You remember when they were talking about farmer herders clash? Now it is bandits. All these bandits that they have called it because the government hand is involved, because they want it to be played down. The other day I read on the news that they were warning the media to stop saying rising insecurity. I don't know what they want to be saying. Is it descending insecurity? Because they don't want the world to see it as this is a terrorism going on, whereas the Nigerian state is trying to make it to look as an internal issue. When it is internal issue, nobody will interfere into the domestic affairs of a sovereign nation. Remember, Nigeria is not a nation. Nigeria is a contraption, because nations emerges organically or by agreement. Nigeria has never been a nation, and when people say our nation, you know that they are ignorant. Nations emerges organically, or people comes together and say, yes, we want to be this country. They join, they agree. These are the terms. But in Nigeria, it is never like that. It has been the logic of the big fish. They have been killing our people since 1945. They committed genocide against the people of Biafra in 1966 to 1970. More than 5 million of our people were killed. Children were starved to death. More than 3 million children died out of starvation. Why were they starving? It is because the British government imposed and executed a land and sea blockade on Biafra. Nothing was coming in. No food. People were dying. You see people dying on the street, our people. The British government, at the same time, were supplying the Nigerian state with ammunition, training their logistic officers, then covering them at the United Nations to make sure that the world do not intervene or to know the reality of what is going on at that time. Our people will have really suffered. That is the reason today we have seen that our destiny is in our hands. Nobody will give us the freedom until we take it by ourselves. Although Biafra will never live in isolation, Biafra will never exist in isolation. That is the reason why we in IPOB, we have taken steps to follow the lay down directives by the United Nations, because we will never exist without the United Nations. Even if it seems that they are not doing anything to us as humans, we may think they are not doing anything. But we believe, as a big organization, we don't expect them to act immediately. When something happens, you must follow the process. They will see it, they will investigate, then they will do the needful. So that is the reason why we are trying to tell the world exactly what is happening to our people, exactly what we are facing in Nigeria. The time has come when we will start, when we will stop saying, whenever somebody asks us, how are you, say, I am fine. No, we should change that. Because when someone asks you, how are you, you say, I am fine, but you are hungry. You never eat yesterday. You say you are fine. Say, thank God, though. That is not how it is. There are things that you don't need God to do for you. There are things that God has already done for you, which you don't need God again to come and do it for you. Building of roads, you don't pray for it in the church. Electricity that we see here, no amount of fasting and prayer will bring it. All this time, pastors will tell you to pray for your leaders. You don't need to pray for your leaders. Your leaders are there to do the work. They have the resources and the logistics to do the work. If they don't do the work, your responsibility is to hold them into account. But such things doesn't exist in Nigeria. Rather, the people that are responsible for our sufferings, when we want to complain, it is the pastors, the church, that will use their sermon to dampen our spirits so that we will forget our sufferings and believe that one day God will do it for us. In other nations, people do their supplication to their creator and honor their God, but not because they are looking for something. In Nigeria, if you want to go to abroad, you go and do fasting and do prayer. You even employ special prayers, special prayer warriors to pray for you. You have a visa. You go and give testimony in the church. Our situation is very, very bad. That is my point. And what do we get in our land is military occupation, killing of our people by the same government. You don't have equal right. You don't even have rights. We are not wanted in Nigeria. We are killed at every slightest move. How do we justify the burning of Amangwu, burning of houses in Amangwu village? What justification does a government or a military commanded by a government go into a community to kill people, to burn homes, to burn cars, If you think an individual or group of persons committed any crime in a community, that is why you have DSS, secret police. You investigate, track them down, and catch them. You went on rendition march in Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya to Nigeria, breaking international law, breaching international law of extraordinary rendition. But in Nigeria, at your own backyard, you cannot track someone that you say that he committed something in a community. The only thing you do is to go and burn the whole places down. Look at the villages you are burning. Look at the Amangwu community you are burning. Look at the Zombe that you are burning. Look at the Oso community you are burning. Look at the places you burn in Akwa Ibom. Look at the Ekakpara in Aba that was bombed, that was destroyed some time ago. What do you gain? People that are suffering, you burn their houses, you destroy their villages. A region that lacks any form of infrastructure. Aba is in ruins. Port Harcourt Road is a swamp. What of our Fox Road that was constructed some time ago? Go there now, you see how these places are. And they will tell you billions and billions that they use. And we are there. And they are cajoling us not to sit at home. They are cajoling us to go and vote. They are telling us if we do not vote, APC will take over. They are telling us if we do not vote, there will be state of emergency. They are telling us if we do not vote, they will deploy 40,000 Nigerian military. If we do not vote, they will deploy 20,000 Nigerian police. If we do not vote, they are going to deploy Tucano jet to go and they force us to come out of our homes. How do you feel living in abroad? How do you feel living in the diaspora? You are seeing the level of carnage, the level of suffering our people are going through, and including the killings going on. How do you feel? How do you feel? What do you think? What are you doing about it? Are you there criticizing those people who have sticked out their neck to see that justice is done to the people? What is your contribution? Are you only there trolling people on Facebook, commenting? Some people will go on Facebook, they will comment, say a lot of things, but go to their Facebook page wall, you will see nothing that reflects what they are saying. Why are we deceiving ourselves? Why are we deceiving ourselves? To have electricity, is it a rocket science? You ask yourself. Every year, Nigeria, they churn out graduates, electronics and electrical engineers, civil engineers. You ask yourself, what are they learning in those universities that you don't have uninterrupted electricity generation in Nigeria? Because there is no economy that thrives on generators. Generator doesn't build economy. What is it? What is happening? Go to our places. People don't go to farms anymore. There are no jobs. Our society is not industrialized. The resources are being exploited and wasted. We have been existing for 60 years of lies, 60 years of fraud, 60 years of backwardness, 60 years of enslavement, 60 years of receiving our dead ones because of Nigeria. I'm really, really saddened. Yesterday, I was so disappointed on what is happening in our own community. What have we done? What have we done? Our sisters are out there And there would be husbands are sojourning abroad. Those who were even lucky or able to escape from Nigeria, because Nigeria is escape. I'm telling you, when you leave the shores of Nigeria and look back, you say, is this where I just came out from? The hellfire? Where you see 5 people squeezing themselves at the back of a taxi or bus. You see people standing outside. Doors everywhere. Does it mean that our good things are not good for our people? People are suffering. People pass through hell in Nigeria to eat. The sun is so scorching. Air condition is a luxury. Even smartphone, to have data on a smartphone is luxury. Whereas in other places, it is not like that. There are things that citizens must have access to. What is happening to our people? And we have people that are collaborating with these people to continue to enslave our people. Because if we don't have collaborators, there is no how we will continue to be under the Nigerian claw by this time. Why can't we disassociate ourselves and have a stand and be on our own? The killing is too much. Everywhere there is killing, there is adoption of people. People don't move around anyhow anymore. What kind of society is that? Nigeria is a country whereby this year is bad. Next year it will be worse than this year. And some people are still telling us that we must continue. I don't understand. I'm going to come back in 1 minute.
metio. Ya ija men Kalu. Ya pretend alaja. Ya bari kundu Kalu. Wo chi go. Kalu ala nya ara nei bodu asia. Ya tu ne orupa go sori o. Maga do go ba na npa asia. Ne aso go be pi keme. Ya do go gwa do. Maga pu kwando go ga do. Ne aso maga pu kwando go ga do. Ya no me ari jari tu bali mi Kalu wo chi gwa. Ya do ndan do go. Ya to go ga ti ku ba ya ku ndo gwa do. Ya men Kalu. Chapa le bon ku Kalu ga daru do Kalu. Kalu ga le ta hu do ku nu. Kalu le to ba na ti ku ndo. Ya chapa le bon to chapa me pete ni mi ten ko. Kalu ga me pa mi ten pa wo ba yi ku. Kalu ga ha ta mo ba ya. Kalu ga ha mo ba yi ku bo no. Kalu ti po we kon ke. Oh, yeah. Ndo me zo me dare ha. Ya bi ko ya da ndo me zo ma kare ha wi ku are ha. Kalu wa ti ba ba be.
All right. This is what we are saying. The indigenous people of Biafra, we have undergone a lot of things. Our people has been killed. Our communities has been destroyed. And even though the Nigerian state continues to hobnob and enable terrorism and pamper these terrorists in Nigeria, the British government in this 21st century, 2021, is still training the Nigerian military, is still supplying the Nigerian state all the military equipment that they need to crush our people. That is the reason why today we see the British government has deployed one of their latest warships towards the Gulf of Guinea, which is the Gulf of Biafra, the Gulf of Ambazonia, where you see the Bight of Biafra. So this development was inspired by the concern of the alliance between the people of Biafra and the people of Ambazonia, who are strongly, peacefully, and legally agitating for self-determination through the United Nations Charter, Article 1, the rights for self-determination to all people. These same rights to self-determination to all people, for all people, were the same rights that the British used to leave the European Union. It was also this same United Nations Charter, Article 1, for self-determination of indigenous people, was the same thing that was the same tool, political tool, that was used in the time when Omar el-Bashir of former Sudan was committing genocide against the people of the southern Sudan and also in the Darfur region. So this issue was decided at the International Court of Justice, whereby Omar el-Bashir was also indicted to be taken to the ICC, International Criminal Court, for the crime that he committed. And this same political tool was used when the judges at the International Court of Justice ruled and called for a referendum to be conducted on the question for South Sudan to be independent. And today, they are independent. A lot of people, even Eritrea, many countries, has disintegrated peacefully. Why are the people of Biafra being killed? Why is the British government still supporting the murderous Fulani hegemonists from the Sahel to occupy, to kill, and take over the ancestral lands of the people in southern Nigeria? Why are the British government deploying their naval ship, the Trent, to Biafra land? Why? Are they getting ready to commit another genocide on Biafra? Is it the interpretation? Is it a prelude to what is to come next year?
We are live from Lagos here na Apapa. The Apapa way they here, Apapa Wharf. And they would from bring on a live coverage of the arrival of the British warship where arrived Nigeria over the weekend. This not the warship. They enter Nigeria over the weekend.
Have never deployed
and today
all these things.
Someone touch this area,
to
see
track
what the
down
warship look like.
The terrorists
And I am be waiting with
that
the face
are
here. So
killing
don't see you
people
put them
in
waiting inside
Nigeria.
and we carry
They never
we have
deployed
British
this
military uniform them. Their navy uniform
to
them.
Zamfara State.
And they even carry their rifles.
They never deployed
on top.
this to Southern
Now we
Kaduna,
will march enter inside the
where
ship.
a lot of
If you look where they see gun everywhere on top of
Southern Kaduna people have been killed
see that one of the guns
and buried in mass graves.
well positioned. I have said it carry enough assault rifles.
Why
inside.
is it that the British
all those ones say they watch inside movie and then we will see here so
give us things
when we enter
that we
inside the ship, they're
use,
gonna brief forcefully, waiting the ship come
or even advise these moderate Nigerian states to industrialize the country. If really they are serious, they want to fight insecurity. Because insecurity you see in Nigeria is because people have no job.
British warship.
Insecurity is because there is no opportunity. Insecurity is because there is no hope.
Live from Apapa here in Lagos.
You don't have job. You don't have anything. Nothing is working. And people, they have resorted to criminality, including the state-sponsored.
The right time trends, they call it HMS trend. HMS trend. P224.
The only thing that they send to us is things that will
this ship, I hear say, don't they travel for about 6 months
so
now.
They asking for
different locations. But the Kokona said the ship just arrived Nigeria and the same mission for the Gulf of Guinea.
Scottish people are
so you go visit about 5 countries
where
include Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, Cape Verde, Gambia.
Why is it that
these are some of the countries where the ship go visit?
When we ask
now, I go check on a walk into the warship. For people who never see warship,
we are killed. We are labeled
inside warship I never see before. I'm gonna follow me. They see so
we are demonized.
There would they go in now.
And the worst is that
so I'm gonna follow me.
They use the collaborators
British
among
HMS
us to advance
warship.
This enslavement that we are seeing on a broad daylight, what we are passing through is enslavement. Enslavement is not only when you are on chains. We have no control of our destiny. We have no control of our own land. Because we cannot develop our own land because we are conjoined with Nigeria. So these are the
jump enter the British warship.
These are the atrocities that is ongoing.
How it be like.
How do we sit down and see
these things
happening to us?
I agree to now.
It is heartbreaking.
I don't know whether you put the air fishing, so
I want to read
fishing, give them too. You know, fishing with
this press release by the indigenous.
Maybe like they want to address us with the press first before they're gonna carry us to the walk into the ship.
Short.
It's now one session of the ship.
Update.
Now, on top British warship, HMS Trent, now with this.
Our land is under siege.
This one see so in front of me, so now gone with this compartment. So they cover them with that cloth, and that one of them there the other side, and that one of the ship of the guns. Now in the here, so now only gun I go they call them because I don't know the special name where they go they call them. Then cover them so. And the ship they were protected. Today we here we say about 17 crew members. Will be British Marine them, and then follow this particular warship, enter Nigeria. See one of them, they're carrying assault rifles.
So the way British government release, we say this ship enter Nigeria to come follow, do small patrol with Nigerian Navy, and then also follow teach Nigerian Navy some new techniques for how to patrol, how to fight piracy, people they use water, they carry drugs and terrorism on top water, are part of the mission of this ship into Nigeria. So the people go for here, so we follow come to see what we too can see. Make una stick with us. We go later carry on and enter every part of the ship. So, but for now, they won't brief us on what will be their mission and how you will take carbon. They call this one HMS. They call it HMS Trent, British warship. I say this is not the first time in 3 years where any royal warship they enter Nigeria. This one come to do collabo with countries under the Gulf of Guinea. Some of the countries where they inside Gulf of Guinea include Nigeria, Ghana, Cape Verde, Gambia, Senegal, and some of the countries where this particular ship will enter, do small patrol with the Navy divisions inside these countries, and then later they also follow teach them some things they need to know about how to patrol on top water, how to fight terrorism, and how to fight people where they use water, they carry drugs, and to fight piracy also. Here in Apapa Wharf for Lagos, and from there they bring on this live report. In a little while, we'll go enter inside the inner parts of the ship. Maybe we'll go see bomb inside, or if you see maybe snipe, all those things where they see for movie. Get ready if you follow, see them live and direct here from Lagos, Nigeria. Now some of their personnel be this one, so they ride for their body. Royal Navy.
All right. Let me read this press release by the indigenous people of Biafra. Then I will be rounding off the program because I just want to look at all these things and see how we can be able to think home and look at our responsibilities, what we must do as a people to see that we avert the dangers that will be unleashed on our people. Because if you look at the development of events, you will see that we are almost at the precipice in Nigeria now, because the killings is ongoing, the hunger is ongoing, inflation is ongoing, a lot of evil is ongoing in Nigeria today. And when you are living comfortably at the comfort of any country where you find yourself in, we must all think home and look at the things that is happening to our people. They want to exterminate our generation, because that is the reason why, as you see us living in abroad, having our children here, our children cannot go back to a place like Nigeria unless we have a new nation whereby we will start from the scratch to lay a good foundation for a nation that our oncoming generation will be proud of. Look at Nigeria. Where do you still see gutters in the cities? To build a city, you need to lay down a drainage, have a drainage structure. Then you start your society. Look at Aba, for how many years they never seen any solution. to the floodings, to the dilapidation, despite the money that is being siphoned, criminally siphoned in Nigeria. There is nothing to show for it. Are we going to continue like that? Are we going to continue doing the same thing again and again and again, recycling one form of idea again and again without achieving any results? Look at the schools. Schools are on strike. The doctors are on strike. A lot of things are not going properly in Nigeria. And we are sitting dumb, looking, trying to buy cars. What is our problem? Let me read the press release. This press release is on the 26th of October 2021. It says, press release by the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Kalu's rendition will not weaken IPOB, but destroy Nigeria. IPOB replies Garba Shehu. The attention of the global family of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, ably led by our great leader, MAZI Kalu, has been drawn to the ranting and laughable statement from Garba Shehu, the SSA media, to President Buhari, saying that the extraordinary rendition of IPOB leader will lead to the end of IPOB agitation. We are surprised at the level of cluelessness and the ignorance displayed by Garba Shehu about the operations of IPOB. We therefore want to assure him and his co-travelers that extraordinary rendition of our leader, MAZI Kalu, will rather destroy Nigeria and not IPOB. By keeping and renditioning MAZI Kalu, Nigeria has committed international crime and must not go unpunished. The world doesn't need any further proof that IPOB is a peaceful movement. The kidnap of its leader by Nigeria government is a crime that must be punished. So, by this singular violation of international law, Nigeria is in already, but instead of admitting the obvious, its officials are busy playing to the gallery. But very soon, the masterminds of this heinous crime will be rounded up and handed over to the International Criminal Court, ICC, for prosecution. IPOB is not a pushover movement, and we cannot be intimidated. Just very soon, our oppressors will be taught by ICC in the language they understand. IPOB remains a non-violent organization, but has been the victim of the high-handedness of the Nigerian authorities. The wicked Nigerian security agents have continued their secret genocide against Biafra agitators, but they will pay for their atrocities very soon. We want Garba Shehu, Monguno, the National Intelligence Agency, and the Attorney General of Nigeria, Abubakar Malami, to stop displaying their ignorance of international law. They should stop media trial of our leader, whose matter is already pending in a court of law, because the whole world knew them and understood that Fulani has destroyed Nigeria, and the world will not join them to call IPOB terrorist organization. Monguno must settle terrorists and bandits he encourages and supports to cause havoc in the northeast and the west of Nigeria, because ordinary civilians and Christians there has seen hell from his plots and killings. He should play his politics to salvage his land from the hands of vampires ravaging northeast and west of Nigeria. Monguno, leave IPOB alone and face what is facing you and your people. This is not 1970 when the world looked the other way while they committed mass atrocities in Biafra land. IPOB is getting stronger by Kanu's rendition, while Nigeria is headed for destruction. Comrade Emma Powerful, Media and Publicity Secretary for IPOB. You see, all these things that is playing out, what the Nigerian state is saying. You know, has always been the Nigerian state that is telling the stories of the level of sophistication of IPOB and what IPOB is capable of doing. IPOB is a movement that is championing the restoration of the sovereign state of Biafra, whereby we want to have a decent society, a decent nation that is planned, a decent nation that is built on the rule of law, a decent nation that is built on equality, a decent nation that will be directly opposite of what Nigeria is today. That is the mission of IPOB, to restore Biafra to her sovereignty, because Biafra has existed for thousands of years. Posterity will never count us worthy if we fail to restore Biafra, because we have the logistics. We can speak to the world from the comfort of our homes, and the world will listen. But during the time, our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, our loved ones, we are massacred, we are starved to death in the 1967 to 1970. We do not have all these things. We were stifled through the media. The world didn't know what was going on. Today, we are sophisticated. Look at this point in time, as I am talking, so many people in Nigeria are still sleeping. So that is the age that IPOB have over all others. And we want to replicate this in our nation. Let us harness our talents. Let us put them into use in our own nation. Look at our children are making great things in the diaspora, in the countries where they have adopted. Our best adopts other countries. We are on the losing side if we do not restore Biafra. Nigeria do not have any hope for you and I as Biafrans. If you are from Akwa Ibom, if you are from Urobo, if you are from Igbo, if you are from Ejo, if you are from Efik, all of us, we are the same people. We should stop lying to ourselves and do the right thing for us to liberate ourselves and liberate our oncoming generation. Because if we fail at this time, our children and our children's children will suffer more than what we ourselves have suffered. You know what it takes to present Nigerian passport at any embassy of the world. You know what it takes you to pass through any airport with the Nigerian passport. It is a curse. It turns you to an exhibit before the authorities of any country of the world, because they know that Nigeria is fraud. Nigeria was created on the foundation of fraud and lies, intimidation, and the duress. People are forced to become Nigerians. People are forced at the gunpoint to be Nigerians, and we reject it entirely. Our fathers fought. Our fathers were the people that fought the Ekumeku warriors that fought the British for 31 good years. We will never take injustice, because the injustice in Nigeria has subsisted and has been sustained for many years with lies, with intimidation, with killings, with our blood, and we must stop it. So IPOB, we are winning. Things are happening. A lot of things are happening. So we, the indigenous people of Biafra, we are not seeking for war. We are not seeking for what does not belong to us. We are asking for a referendum to be conducted for our people to decide what they want. Nigerian government violates its constitution by clamping down on Nnamdi Kanu inter-society. I want to read this, then we can close. A civic organization, the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, otherwise known as Inter-Society, stated that the Nigerian government's clampdown on the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and its leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is a direct violation of its own constitution. That is true. According to the group's board chairman, Emeka Umebalasi, the government should free Kanu and end the violent crackdowns against the agitations before peace will be restored in the southeast. That is the truth. Inter-Society made this submission in Enugu State during an international conference So as we have been saying, the military occupation and burning of our communities, killing our youth is still ongoing in various parts of Biafra land. Yesterday, it is in Amangwu Ohafia, and they are still there. We are still going to bring up the report, a conclusive and comprehensive report of the aftermath of the atrocities ongoing there. We also remember that they have burned down some family homes in Oso community. The same thing has happened in Izombe and so many other places in Biafra land, where our people are being intimidated, where our people are being killed, where our people are being unlawfully incarcerated. Extrajudicial killings is ongoing in our land today. And wherever we are, wherever we live, we must do something about it. We must think home. We must think about our future. We must think about the unborn. What future are they going to face? What we are passing through today may be a child's play to what they will face if we do not do something today. That is the reason why we ask people to join the movement for the restoration of Biafra, because it is only we, the Biafrans, that will restore Biafra. It may seem so difficult, but at least we can see the light on the tunnel. The indigenous people of Biafra, we are doing the job. We have initiated a lot of litigations against the Nigerian state. Our lawyer initiated original lawsuit at Umuahia High Court on the fundamental rights infringement of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, and also for the quest for Biafra self-determination. We also remember that the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, is also having a litigation against the Nigerian state at the Africa Commission. Africa Commission, when the time comes, they will interpret what it means by Africa Charter on Human and People's Rights. That is the question before that honorable commission. We also have litigation at the U.S. District Court against the Nigerian state. And now our international attorney has also been making moves that will see that the issue of Biafra is discussed at the International Court of Justice. We are almost there. Because if you know the direction that the restoration of Biafra is going, you know that we are getting there, because it is still the same International Court of Justice that decided the issue between Nigeria and Cameroon. And at the end, they decided that Bakassi Peninsula should be ceded to Cameroon. And it was done. International Court of Justice. The same thing happened. They decided that a referendum must be conducted based on the Africa Charter in Sudan. And today we have South Sudan. So now our attorney, our international attorney, has made that same step. That is to say, they will decide at the International Court of Justice for a referendum to be conducted based on self-determination, which is guaranteed by African Charter, which is also guaranteed by Article 1, United Nations Charter, which is also guaranteed under the domestic laws of Nigeria, which is called Enforcement and the Ratification Act, Cap A9, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. So, when we look at this and see the direction that we are going, the update is that IPOB has set the pace. No matter how difficult it is for people to believe, no matter how hard it may be for people to come to terms with what we are doing, those that they call the miscreants, those that they call street boys, those that they called all sorts of names, we are focused. We know what we are doing. We know the direction that we are going, and we know what we are going to achieve. What we are going to achieve is Biafra restoration. We are not here to make money. We are not here to be famous. We are not here to have likes and comments. We are not here to grow our profile. We are not here to monetize what we are doing. Rather, we are voluntarily here to see that we provide whatever we have, including our lives, to see that Biafra is free. That is why we are here. We are not interested in what we will become tomorrow when Biafra comes. That is not the agenda. What we want is that to see that we are part of those that made it possible for Biafra to be free. And that is the mindset that any genuine Biafran must have. You don't need to gain anything while fighting for your own freedom. Everything is not money. Everything is not material. We bring out what we have to put in it for our people to be free. Freedom. Nothing like freedom. Nothing is more important in life than freedom. That is why we are here. Therefore, I want to remind our people in Malaysia and the other Asian countries to get prepared for the oncoming ESN fundraising, because we are not hiding to say it. We are not hiding to say it. We must come out in mass and provide our resources to support the ESN, these men that are in the bush fighting to see that the terrorist Fulanese that are occupying our bushes and farmlands are chased away in order for our mothers and the families to go back to farm, because they want to impose a land and sea blockade again. That is why you see the British, they are sending their sophisticated warship that they will use to encircle our land and thereby commit the same atrocity that they committed in the past. We will not sit down and watch them. We must defend our land against these terrorists. Remember that the Nigerian government, Nigerian president went to America some time ago and told the American president, when Donald Trump was there, that those people, these terrorists, these killers that are coming, that are killing people in Nigeria, that they are from Libya, that they are from Mali, that they are from other parts of Africa, but they are not Nigerian. But the Nigerian government is making governmental policies to allocate our land to them, to these terrorists. But you will remember that the Sokoto state governor said it on a national television that the intention and the plan and the policy of the Nigerian state is to see that the Fulani from all over Africa have a homeland, and that homeland is in Nigeria, and they must take over the ancestral lands of the indigenous people that have lived on this land for thousands of years. That means today you will relinquish what your fathers, your ancestors bequeathed to you, because the Fulani have invaded to occupy our land. Thank you so much. Let me draw the curtain here. We'll say have a day tomorrow at the same time. Thank you and remain blessed. And those of our people in Amangwu Ohafia, you can contact us. We will do our best to see that you people are not starved. Whatever it takes, we'll make sure that our people that are affected are protected, clothed, and fed appropriately. Those of our brothers, those are our people that were affected in Izombe, in Osu, in Olu, all these places, know that your price that you are paying will not be in vain, only when we restore Biafra. Because these people, they don't want us. They don't know if you are from they don't know if you are in IPOB or not. As long as your name is Kalu, as long as your name is Emeka, as long as your name is Ojuku, you are a target for destruction. So this is my message to us here today, IPOB families in Asia, IPOB families in all over the world. Our DOS, the Directorate of States of Indigenous People of Biafra, has clarified some of these things, whereby we must hold our fundraisings within our families all over the IPOB. We are a strong movement with a strong structure, whereby we can conduct ourselves with discipline, organized, the way we have been doing it till we arrive at the stage that we are today. So let us get ready and do the fundraising and support our ESN. Let us dip our hands into our pockets and do our best to see that our communities are protected and defended. All this money we are packing in Nigeria, when you pack it, the Naira is crashing. It will become worthless to you. So it is better for you to use it now to defend your own people, to defend your community. That is my message to you today. Thank you so much, and remain blessed as I will be signing off. Omuchineke. Biafra must come. Biafra must come. No matter what they do, Biafra must be restored. No matter what they do.
Iyo mani yorobini. Mani yorobini. Iyo mani yorobini. Iyo mani yorobini. Iyo iyo mani yorobini. Iyo ọta unugbawo. Ọta unugbawo. Maka ya bụkwa nkelu ụbọchị igwe ọbara. Na-abịa mụya mbọ nkelu dị eti ikwu dị ọgụ ọgụ. Na-achọ ọgụ adịghị mma ka ọ bụ ọgụ igbo. Ọgụ adịghị mma. Nkelu ebido ọgụ. Na-achọ ọgụ bụkwa ọgụ eti. Oyibo ọza na-adịghị ya nkelu ekweta. Ụbọchị igwe ọbara. Jajọ ka na-efọ. Jana abụla ka obi nwa nkelu ụbọchị igwe ọbara. Nkalubia hata rubaya. Nkalubia hamu bayi kubono. Nkalubia we kwanike. Oh, yeah. Ndame zoro me dare ha. Yeah, because you are ndame zoro makare ha. What we kware ha. Nkalu wati gwa barabe. Angon ha tu nkalu. Tuwa nkalu toya man rabo. Angon happy boy me. Yan ha tu nkalu toya man rabo.